Welcome back to AKB Guidance. Today our topic is about physical conditions of Earth interior. So this is very important topic and it clarifies all your doubts, and it is helpful in understanding your further lectures, and it is also helpful in understanding what we have discussed yesterday. So without wasting much time, let's get into our topic. So this is our topic: physical conditions of Earth interior. So what is uh, interior of the earth? Today we are going to see what is present inside the earth. So earth is like a circle or like a ball. We usually will see what is happening on its surface, but we don't know what is existing inside it. What is inside it? We don't know that. So different kinds of different scientists have interpreted different kinds of theories, and they have come up with different results, and today we'll discuss about those things. So first thing is that knowledge about interior. From where do we get the knowledge about the interior of the earth? So the first source is artificial source, or I can say it as by mining or drilling. This is the artificial source. By this we can know what is present in the earth's interior. And the secondary source is the seismic waves or seismology. That means due to earthquakes and due to volcanic activities, we come to know about the interior of the earth. So these seismic waves depends upon temperature, pressure, density, rigidity and compressibility. On the basis of the physical condition, this Earth's interior is classified into three types, that is crust, mantle and core. We'll see it in a figure. So this is the important figure. I just drew this, and this will be very helpful in understanding many other topics, and the major part of today's topic will depend upon this figure only. So as we see, this part is called the ocean crust. This is the oceanic crust of basaltic. So this is simply called as Saima, and this here from a layer of oceanic crust to the hilly part of this will be around 40 kilometers of depth, and this is the continental crust. So this is mainly formed of granitic, and we call it as a Sial, that is aluminum and silicon. So the next thing we going to see is this is the uppermost mantle, mainly of solid, and this is the partially molten mantle, and this is we call it as asthenosphere, and this is a solid asthenosphere. This is the mantle transition zone, that is between a lower mantle and the upper mantle. We call it as mantle transition zone, and this is the lower mantle. This is the upper outer molten core and the inner solid core. So let's say what is the depth for each I can say each layer, and what is the discontinuity which separates two layers. So the first thing is the oceanic crust is about 5 kilometers, and the continental crust is around 40 kilometers of depth, and the uppermost mantle is around 100 kilometers of depth, and this I can say 0 to 100 kilometers is called as lithosphere, and this partially molten asthenosphere is around 100 to 200 kilometers of area, and solid asthenosphere is around 200 to 400 kilometers, and the mantle transition zone is 400 to 670 kilometers. Lower mantle zone is 670 to 2900 kilometers. Outer mantle core is around 2900 to 5150, and the inner solid core is around 5150 to 6371 kilometers. So the line which is separating the continental crust and the lithosphere is called the Conard discontinuity, and which is separating the upper mantle and the oceanic crust is called Moho discontinuity. This entire area we call it as upper mantle. This is the lower mantle. So the area which is separating upper mantle and lower mantle is called Rapte discontinuity, and the area which is separating the lower mantle and the outer molten core is called Gutenberg discontinuity, and the area which is separating outer molten core and the inner solid core is called Lehmann discontinuity. So I think we have clarified all the things from this figure, so this will help in our further understanding of the topic. So what is crust? Crust is having around a thickness of 35 kilometers, and it is a continent. For continental it is around 40 kilometers, but 100 kilometers for mountainous condition. Its density ranges to 2.6 grams per centimeter cube. Granitic and andesite rocks. It contains of mainly granitic and andesite rocks, and it is made up of Cl, silicon, and aluminum. Oceanic crust is made. It is between 5 to 10 kilometers of depth, and its density is 3 grams per centimeter cube, and it is made of basaltic and ferromagnesia. That is we call it is Sima. So yesterday I have said you that continental crust will have lower density and the oceanic crust will have the higher density, which helps in subduction and floating of continent and subduction of oceanic crust. So from here we can know that oceanic crust is 3 grams per centimeter cube, and the density of continental crust is 2.6 grams per centimeter cube. So from this we can understand that continental is lighter than oceanic crust. Let us go to the next topic, that is mantle. Mantle 80% of Earth's volume. If we consider total Earth's volume, 80% is of mantle. 80% is mantle, and iron, magnesium, and calcium. It mainly consists iron, magnesium, and calcium. This is hotter and denser. So due to these hotter conditions, yesterday we have discussed that subduction takes place in mantle area. Subduction takes place in mantle area due to its hotter conditions inside the earth. Melting of that subducted plate takes place, and due to compression acting on this and it will form into a volcano. So because of increasing temperature and pressure inside the earth, due to high temperature and pressure inside the earth, it is hotter and denser. So the next is the upper mantle, made up of peridotite and gabbro rocks, and pyroxene and plagioclase rocks. Average density is 4.5 grams per centimeter cube. This is higher than the density of oceanic crust, and the temperature is around 1100 degrees Celsius. Low velocity zone. This is also called as low velocity zone, and partially molten region. Here the velocity will be low and partially molten region, and in this region the melting takes place, and the magma chamber are rich in peridotite. Magma chamber is rich in this area, and the lower mantle is generally having density of 6.5 grams per centimeter cube, and composed of olivine and plagioclase and orthoclase. Velocity of seismic waves is maximum because of its solid in nature. Its velocity is a little more, and this mantle is classified as upper mantle and lower mantle, which we have discussed here. So this is upper mantle and lower mantle. Now let's see what is core, and core is also classified into two types, that is outer core and the inner core. So core is twice dense than the mantle area. This has a maximum density, and composed of iron and nickel, mainly composed of iron and nickel, 16% of Earth's volume. That is 80%, mantle is 80%, and this core area is 16%. So total 96%. So the remaining 4% will be the crust area. So outer core is composed of average density 10 grams per centimeter cube. This is the highest. Then the mantle core, and composed of iron and nickel 85%, and silica is 15%. Temperature is around 4500 degrees Celsius, and it is in molten stage, which we have discussed in our diagram. So the inner core is solid, and it having average density of 13 grams per centimeter cube. Temperature is around 6000 degrees Celsius. Having that 6000 degrees Celsius, it is solid in nature, indicated by increasing P waves. Due to seismic waves, we can know that what kind of interior is present in the interior of the earth. So seismic waves will take a separate class for this. It is a long topic. Due to seismic wave, we will understand the kind of earthquake. So it is a longer topic, but for now you should know that there are two kinds of wave from seismic wave, that is P waves and S waves. P means primary waves and S is the secondary waves. So basically P waves travels in all conditions, and S waves only travels in solid conditions. So from this we can understand that what kind of temperature and what kind of either solid or liquid conditions present interior of the earth. So we'll see the average density of earth, which I have explained earlier. Density of earth is explained by different theories by different scientists. So Cavendish explained that in 1798 on the basis of Newton's gravitational law. He said that the average density of earth will be 5.48 grams per centimeter cube, and Poynting in 1878 said that it will be 5.49 grams per centimeter cube. And in present day, due to satellite, with the help of satellites, we came to know that the density or average density of the earth is around 5.1517 grams per centimeter cube. Average density of earth's surface, which is the crustal area, that is 2.6 to 3.3 grams per centimeter cube. Average density of the core is 11 grams per centimeter cube. So the next topic is the chemical composition of the earth's interior. According to Suez, is a scientist. So according to Suez, crust is a thin layer of sedimentary rocks that is having very low density, and the crystalline rocks and silicate in matter, mainly consist of crystalline rocks and silicate in matter. He explained with the help of this diagram that interior, this is the core area, and core area mainly consists of nickel and ferrous, that is knife, and its average density is 11 grams per centimeter cube. And the mantle area, this is the mantle area, this is area of Sima, that is silica and magnesium, and it is having average density of 2.9 to 4.7 grams per centimeter cube. Then the outer mantle is having the Cl, that is silica and aluminium, which is having the average density of 2.7 grams per centimeter cube. The outer layer is the crust, which we have seen earlier. And see, he explained that silica, Cl means this outer mantle area, silica and aluminium, and its thickness ranges around 50 to 300 kilometers. It has acid materials and silicates. Acid materials such as potassium, sodium, and aluminium. He also notified that the inner mantle consists of composed of basalt and a source of magma. So silica and magnesium are the main composition, and its thickness ranges from 1000 to 2000 kilometers. Silicates of magnesium, calcium, and iron are the compounds found in this area. And the knife, that is the core area, which mainly consists of nickel and ferrum, that is ferrous. These are heavy metals due to gravitational, I can say, uh, gravitational attraction. Heavy metals came inside the core area. So gravitational pull brought these heavy metals in the core area, and its diameter ranges around 6880 kilometers. Now let's see what is the thickness and depth of different layers of earth. So which we have seen in the figure, what is the thickness of each layer in detail, and what is layer separated by, that is which kind of discontinuity is separating the layers. So now a scientist called Daly, he proposed that earth will be having three layers. So the outer zone consists of silicate and density of 3.0 grams per centimeter cube, and its thickness is 1600 kilometers. This is the outer zone. And he said that intermediate zone is having iron and silicates and density of 4.5 to 9 grams per centimeter cube. He said it has the thickness of 1280 kilometers. And the last zone is the central zone, that is against the core area, mainly consists of iron solid in state, and it has density of 11.6 grams per centimeter cube, and diameter ranges around 7040 kilometers of the core area. So according to Harold Jeffreys, on the basis of study of seismic wave, he studied seismic wave and came to a conclusion that earth interior is having a four kinds of layer. That is the outer layer mainly consists of sedimentary rocks, the secondary layer which consists of granites, and the third layer which consists of diorite, and the fourth layer which is of peridotite or eclogite. These are metals, we can say, layers which consist of metals and minerals. So according to Arthur Holmes, he proposed that interior of earth will be having two kind of layers. So the upper layer is made up of crust, and it is having a sialic layer, and the upper portion is a sima, and the lower layer is the substratum. The I can say the lower mantle area to the core area, it is called the lower layer of substratum. And according to Van der Graat, he's proposed that interior of earth will be having four layers. That is the metallic, first we'll say the nucleic sialic crust, density of 2.7 to 2.9 grams per centimeter cube, and 60% is the continent area, and 20% Atlantic and Pacific Ocean is absent. He said that 60% of the area consists of continents, and 20% is Atlantic area. But he proposed that Pacific Ocean is absent in this outer sialic crust, and the inner silicate mantle, that is 60 to 1140 kilometers, and is having 3.1 to 4.75 grams per centimeter cube. So the next is the zone of mixed metals or silicates. So 1140 to 2900 kilometers, and its density ranges from 4.75 to 5.0 grams per centimeter cube. This is the last area, that is a metallic nucleus, that ranges from 2900 to 6371, and its density ranges, that is 11 grams per centimeter cube. So if you understand this initial figure with very deep understanding, or getting it very clarified, so you will get all the other concepts clear. So the main thing is this figure. From this we'll get that what is the depth of the layer, and which is the discontinuity separating the two layers, and what is the kind of density the layer is having. So this is the main point. And this, if you draw this diagram in your examination, it will fetch you more marks. So please learn this diagram and draw this diagram and in your examination. And I am regularly providing you this handwritten notes of mine with the link given below in this channel. And if you like this video, please subscribe and share. This is our geography optional classes, which we are regularly uploading, and we'll continue after finishing of geography optional. We'll start gs. So let's now focus on geography optional, then we'll go to gs. And so if you like, and if you think this video is helpful for you, and it made you to understand the things which you don't know earlier, so please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.